Well, happy Monday. We made it through another couple weeks. Hope everybody's doing well. Again, I always need to say thank you to all those who have written, who have called in for your incredible support, sharing it with others. I've had a lot of people that I've been able to talk to recently about Cellercise and different approaches that people can take. I want to thank the doctors who are willing to look into the benefits of Cellercise, and now more and more of them of you are expounding its benefits. I'm very grateful. We've had some incredible stories. Some of them I can share, some of them maybe a little more personal to other people, but I want to be sensitive to that. But I also want to thank those who are willing to share your customer reviews for others, because it's a great inspiration to many. Okay, tonight we have very few customer reviews. I've got more, but I don't know what I did with them, so I will find them and we'll introduce them later. But we've got a few very nice ones, and then I'm going to answer some questions, and then I want everyone to get your Cellercisers out, because what I'm going to do is go through some of the movements that are going to be on the new app. We're going to focus on different areas of the body. Some of it's going to be more intense, some of it's not going to be. But people ask me all the time, they say, how much Cellercise do I need to do compared to walking? It's totally different. Some people have asked me, compared to burning calories, how much do I have to do on Cellercise? Cellercise is weight bearing. It doesn't focus on certain muscle groups like typical exercise. Typical exercise is much more limited. You're generally working just a few muscle groups, but when you Cellercise, you're creating G-forces. Those G-forces, or weight-bearing activity, is on all your muscles all at the same time. You don't have to work as hard on a Cellerciser as people often think they do, because generally we see a lot of these programs and you're working really, really hard. That's okay, you can do that. But you are automatically working pretty hard on the Cellerciser just by doing the baby bounce or health bounce. It really is. It's working throughout your entire body. If you want to do more aerobics, if you want to challenge the heart more in the circulation, sure, you can do more vigorous aerobic activities. But keep in mind, again, that Cellercise is weight bearing even on the heart. So even though you're making it easier on the heart to circulate, because you're pumping with the heart, you're also putting weight on the heart. The heart's a muscle, just like any other muscle. And when you put weight or stress on that muscle over and over, the cells respond. They fortify their membrane. They get stronger. They become more efficient. That's one of the great benefits of the Cellerciser. So I want to encourage everybody to understand that it's somewhat difficult to compare Cellercise with typical exercise, because Cellercise literally is a whole body exercise. There's not a single area of the body that's not involved. So when you're moving up and down, you're weightless over 100 times a minute, and then you have weight on the thyroid over and over, you're challenging the thyroid, the adrenal, the endocrine system, the liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals, pineal gland, brain activity, proprioceptors. You're doing it all at the same time. That's why when we begin Cellercise, I tell people, go easy, play on it. It'll work on you. And then as you get better, you can increase the intensity and do more on it. Play on it. Again, let it work on you. Okay, so first customer review. Elizabeth writes, just wanted to let you know I've had what I thought was a really good rebounder for many years. I hadn't used it for a while, but I bought your app July 5th, so used it with my rebounder. I absolutely love the app, however. I was having trouble with my knees since starting with the app. I know I've heard you many times talk about why Cellercise is better, but I really thought mine was compatible. I was apprehensive, but ordered this Cellerciser, which arrived in August, and just like you keep saying, it made an immediate difference. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. Thank you so much. And thank you, Elizabeth. I think we read you last week, but it's still good. All right. This one here is from Amy. Amy writes, we're a family of 7 with kids ranging from 3 to 13. A little background about me. I grew up very active. I was in ballet for 12 years. I worked at a barn and old dressage horseback riding in my teens, skiing, swimming, and we were constantly outside walking on hikes in the woods, etc. When my husband and I were first married 17 years ago, we were avid exercisers. Not saying any of us this to be braggy, but just trying to paint the picture. 3 years into our marriage, we had our first daughter and then 2 more daughters, all within 3 years of each other. Surprisingly, I was able to stay in pretty good shape and health during that time. Youth is a beautiful thing. And then life started hitting us pretty hard, and I quickly gained a bunch of weight and started eating extremely unhealthy food and not getting enough sleep. I actually got pretty healthy while pregnant with our son, baby number 4, but wasn't able to maintain it for long. And 4 years after our son was born, we had another son, baby number 5. Needless to say, time, age, and lifestyle choices started to really get to me. It was easier to get sick and stressed and stay stressed. My digestion became horrible. I was always tired. It felt like I constantly had heavy wet blankets on top of me. I started getting swelling in my lower extremities. This started to scare me. It's far easier to live life and cheaper when you're healthy. So when I found you, David, in the Cellerciser, I was one desperate lady. I needed something that I could be consistent with because I knew a lot of the reason for my aches and pains, weight gain, and even frequent sicknesses was due to not exercising and from me sitting around too much. One night back in February 2020, I was praying to God to lead me to an exercise that I could be consistent with because I had workouts that I could do, but I wasn't able to keep up with them consistently because they'd leave me so sore for days, or I'd even injure myself and I couldn't do much of anything for weeks. I knew I needed to do something before getting worse. And then I found you after researching lymphatic pumping because I wanted something that would help me gain muscle tone, but also address my lymphatic system. And the Cellerciser does both. I watched as many of your videos as I could online. The next day, I told my husband, Matthew, I really wanted to get a Cellerciser and explained what I had found and what you, David, did or had said. He agreed in getting one without hesitation. Thank you, God. I always took my health and fitness for granted. Now my reasons for wanting to be healthy and fit are very different than they were in my youth and 20s. I hope I didn't read this the last time. I think it's a great customer review. And I read so many of these that I'm not sure which ones I've read and which ones I haven't, but it's a good story. Being a mom of 5 kids and having some mild health issues like adrenal fatigue, atrophy from sitting too much, and little time to devote to working out, the Cellerciser is a dream. We use it every single day, even if it's just 3 minutes. I've relieved fatigue, sinus and chest congestion, indigestion, swelling, edema in my legs, brain fog, brightened my mood, gained clarity, gained muscle. It's reshaped my body. I still need to lose weight, but that's more of a food issue. Laugh out loud. It reduces lactic acid buildup when used between sets during resistance training and massively helps with flexibility, aches and pains, etc., etc., etc. Our oldest daughter uses it every single day. If she gets sick or her nose is stuffy, she'll get on it and jump until the stuffiness is gone, usually within minutes. We homeschool our kids even before COVID hit. And if any of our kids are having concentration issues or feel lethargic, I tell them to go jump for a few minutes and then their concentration and or energy comes right back. We got COVID back in November 2020, and anytime we were congested in our sinuses or lungs, within minutes of jumping, it was gone. Not to mention the lymphatic pumping benefits while we were sick. There were days that it seemed like it wouldn't be a good idea to get on the Cellerciser, but I'd do it anyway. All of us would, and I'm so grateful we did. I know that the consistent use of the Cellerciser, even if it was a few minutes, greatly reduced the severity of the sickness and the recovery time. Just to be sure to drink lots of water. That's true. I can't tell how much the Cellerciser has changed the quality of our lives. What I've mentioned is truly just the tip of the iceberg, and how it's helped my family, and the possibilities of what it can help with seem literally endless. We're finding out more and more all the time. God bless you, David, your business, your team, and your family. This small trampoline has answered my prayers, and I'm so grateful to you for all the hard work and care that you put into this endeavor. Thank you so very much, Amy. And I thank you, Amy. I think Amy's called and talked to me since that, too. And she's just been extremely supportive, and that support means a lot. Last one. Oh, one more. I've never liked to exercise and never stick with any type of exercise for long. But I actually look forward to Cellercising twice a day and don't want to miss a single day. This just came in this morning or this afternoon. Even got my skeptical hubby hooked. We went away for the weekend and brought it with us and used it in the hotel room. I'm 69 and the skin on my inner thighs had started to hang in the last year or so. In just a week after starting, I got out of the shower and noticed the sagging inner thighs were no longer sagging. What? All capitalized. I wish I'd taken a before picture, but who would have thought? Joan. Thank you, Joan. And yes, Cellercise again, we're not limiting the effect. It's on the collagen too. It's on the fascia, protein fibers, skin. This is good. See, Catherine has been Cellercising now for several weeks. And when she got it, she had several health issues, including high blood pressure and a number of other issues. And she had been going to the doctors. She got the Cellerciser and went to the doctors. And the doctor asked her, what are you doing? And she told him, Cellercising. Blood pressure is normal. Other indicators had dropped within normal range. And so her doctor said, well, keep doing what you're doing. And then she wrote me this one this morning because she was talking about her cholesterol levels being high. And there was a lot of issues within her circulatory system. And the doctor was advising her not to Cellercise. But the doctor didn't know a lot about it. Wanted her to take some medications. And I'm telling you right now, listen to your doctor generally, or share with your doctor Cellercise. Let the doctor look into it for you, because I'm not trained as a doctor, and I respect doctors and their training. But Cellercise is not like a typical rebounder or mini trampoline. Okay, it's different. The tridaptable spring design is the only self-adapting spring of its kind on the market, and it creates a G-force, a weight-bearing movement, which moves fluid up and down. It's like an internal scrub brush. Well, they were concerned that breaking up the cholesterol could cause other complications or problems. So it was, but she wanted to continue to do it. So here's what happened. And again, I'm not advocating this as medical advice at all, but I want to share the story. It says, wanted to report the invisible benefits of Cellercising. My doctor was assured that with my cholesterol numbers, I would have plaque lodged in my vessels. The calcium score CT scan was done this morning, and I am at 0, all capitalized exclamation point. That means no plaque in my vessels. The best news is this fact. This fact may convince my husband to believe in the bounce. Thank you, Dave, and the Cellercise family. So, I know I had a couple more, but that's one of the benefits of Cellercise, is its movement up and down, circulation for the lymph system, circulation for the pulmonary, as well as lymphatic system, increased oxygen blood flow to the brain, weight-bearing activity for the bones, muscles, increased circulation between the joints. Great customer reviews. I encourage, we're putting them on our website all the time. Feel free to go to our website and read about some of the experiences that so many people have had. Okay, so update. We have the wireless module completed. We're waiting for Apple to approve it so that it will be available on the Mr. Rebounder app. The Android, we had a bug. We're working on the bug. It should be done hopefully tomorrow, if it's not done already. And you should be able to use it quickly. Report anything that may be off so that we can address it. The Apple, I've been using the Apple version for a number of months now. It's wonderful. So it shouldn't have any hiccups or any problems when you do it. We'll have it up on our website on the shop. Hopefully tomorrow. And you can pre-order it. And as you pre-order them, we'll make them available. We'll talk about that in just a moment. I wanted to answer some questions and we'll come back to that. Okay. I was diagnosed with a herniated disc in my neck and on my right side with a shoulder injury. This is all from a car accident 3 months ago. I've been going to a chiropractor and doing exercises to strengthen them. I'm 50 plus years old. Can the Cellerciser help strengthen these areas? And of course, there's different approaches that we do on the Cellerciser to address the neck. And they include supporting it. Again, many of you have seen me do this, doing gentle little movements around the vertebral joint as we gently move fluid up and down through the body, and then helping to feed it. You're massaging the muscles that support the vertebrae and vertebral joints. And then it's also loosening up muscles, helping to reduce inflammation, increasing circulation and flexibility. In the 40 plus new movements that will be on the Mr. Rebounder app, hopefully next week, you'll have several movements that are all designed to focus on strengthening and improving flexibility in that neck area. And then we're going to do some shoulder movements. We're going to do some routines in just a few minutes. Which exercises and intervals would equal walking a mile? I'm thinking of the high interval training type of routine that I can do several times a day. Would equal running a mile? Well, it's hard again to compare Cellercise with running. For weight loss, when Dr. Paul E. DeVore did his studies, he showed that trampoline can burn calories 11 times faster than walking, 5 times faster than swimming, and 3 times faster than running. And that's at equivalent levels of oxygen uptake. So you're working hard enough on the Cellerciser that you're going to get those benefits. But again, the Cellerciser uses G-forces. And you're not getting G-forces working on the body without a jarring effect when you hit a hard surface. So when you're running or you're jarring your body, it tenses up and the accumulated tension over time can actually tear down the body. But Cellercise eliminates up to 7/8 of the jar, the ballistic impact, but you're still getting all the benefit and then some. So you've all heard me talk about Grace. Grace just recently turned 60, October 4th, and she just completed her first Ironman. She trains 30 minutes a day on a Cellerciser, and she ran an Ironman. She's winning marathons. She had to qualify for the Ironman. All of her training is done on the Cellerciser. And the people that are training for 40 hours, 30, 40 hours a week, they came up to her and said, "What are you doing? Tell me about your training." Because the day after she was done with the Ironman, she was out in the parking lot with her Cellerciser, jogging and doing her routine directly after an Ironman, as people were limping and coming out of the hotel room. That's the testimony to her, to me, and to everyone who's been following her. We're gonna feature her more. So all I can tell you is, as I'm getting older and still enjoying life, I do my 10, 15-minute routine every day. And it's not about bodybuilding. It's about health fitness, and enjoying a good quality of life. And if there's weaknesses in the body, the Cellerciser is really helpful at exposing them because it's weight bearing. So go easy, allow the body to adapt. It's, again, not like a typical rebounder. It's not so soft that it doesn't give enough resistance to help strengthen. The Cellercise offers resistance. Okay. When will the t-shirts be available? It's a good question. I looked into that. I need to look into it again. I've just been distracted with everything else, but thank you for the reminder. We will work on getting those t-shirts done. Thank you. What are the differences between the current monitor and the soon-to-be released Bluetooth monitor? It's a good question. Okay, so Ricky, can they see this one? This is a monitor that can literally fit on any mini trampoline. Oh, just loosen it so I turn it around here. There you go. So this monitor has a built-in accelerometer. It's different. It's not just a counter. Again, it's an accelerometer. We've got a patent pending on this right now because the accelerometer measures G-forces. It measures deflection. So because of that, if you're doing the Jamba run and you're running slowly, it's not as intense. You're not burning as many calories. But as you increase the intensity, you're burning more calories. There's an algorithm that has been built within this system so it can measure the number of calories that you're actually burning. So this is a good standalone system. It has the, when you turn it on, it has an intensity meter. It counts the time, the amount of time you're doing your program, your routine, the number of bounces, and the number of calories burned. So it's a great program. When you're done, you can watch that monitor and see the results. The thing about this is it can work on virtually any mini trampoline, and you don't have to have the app to do this. Anybody can stand on the Cellerciser and use it. Now with the app, you need to have the app to use the Bluetooth monitor. The Bluetooth monitor, and can they see it on the big screen?
Yeah.
Brooklyn, thank you. Brooklyn's behind the camera. I know Christine is working behind the scenes. Feel free, if you have questions, go ahead and write in your questions. Love to answer them. So if we go to, you'll see on the new version, you'll actually go to what's called settings on the version. When you go to settings, you'll hit settings, and it will come down. You'll see connect Bluetooth device. So the Bluetooth device, standalone device, and it's got a little button here. You hit the button, it goes from red to green, and then when I attach it to the unit, and it's real easy, you can fold it up and leave it on the unit. When you hit connect to Bluetooth, connect your device, and hit the button and turn it off. Okay, now it's connected. So now the light on the actual monitor is turned blue. So you know you're connected. So I'll put that on, and then I go back, hit the back button to start, go to the advanced section, and pick a routine. Here's Dr. Lynn's interval training, which is a good routine. And when you hit start, it's going to come up. And what we do is we watch a television program while we're watching it on the monitor. But you'll notice that when you have the Bluetooth monitor, there's a little orange bar on the right-hand side. That's not the best background to show the orange bar, but you hit that bar, and if you have the Bluetooth monitor, this screen comes up here. It will show you the number of seconds. It will show you the intensity. It will show you the number of bounces and the number of calories burnt. And so if you go through routine and start bouncing up and down, you should see it on the monitor. It's not showing on the TV screen. But as you're bouncing up and down, okay. If you wait too long, it turns itself off. So I'm going to go back.
Does the monitor come with a warranty?
Yes. Yeah, it does. Okay, so does the monitor come with a warranty? You bet. Okay, so now it's connected. Now I'll go back again. I talk too much. Go to advance. Go back to Dr. Lin. Go back to start. Now we start going up and down. And you can see it starts to count the number of bounces. It also shows the intensity. And normally I would have my cell phone right here or the monitor and I'd be watching a television program. And the time goes by very, very quickly. And you can see how it just keeps track. Now when you're done, it'll ding and it will stop. But if you want to keep bouncing, you can keep bouncing and it will continue to count the number of calories you're burning, the number of bounces you've done. When you're done, it actually goes into your saved area for your health or your. Now, it goes into your calendar and it is saved into your calendar and shows you the total number of workouts you've done, the calories you've burned, and you can actually hit the calendar up here and it will show you the number of days that you've actually worked out in the month. So that's a Bluetooth monitor. To me, it makes sense. The app is great as a standalone, but if you want to see what you're doing and record that little Bluetooth monitor is great. If you have an Apple Watch, the app will also interface with the Apple Watch so that you can count your heartbeat and watch your heartbeat as you're Cellercising as well. So it's growing, it's getting more sophisticated and a lot more fun. We also have a new avatar that we are putting together for children because of the enormous amount of problems we've had through the COVID and obesity among children, which has become kind of an epidemic in and of itself. So we created a superhero and some little animated graphics that they can actually exercise with. So you can tell now parents, again, you can tell your kids if they've been sitting on the couch too much, not getting enough exercise, but they want to watch a show. Tell them, yeah, you can watch a show, but you're going to do this routine. Pick a routine for them, and they can do it with the avatar while they watch their show. So that now they're not just a couch potato, they're a Cellercise potato. And they're getting their benefits. The time is flying by, and it's healthy for them. So again, we're working on programs and ways that we can help you achieve results. And that's what it's really all about. All right, so.
She says, I have a friend whose knees have been bone on bone for many years. Is she able to use the Cellerciser?
We've had many people that have. They say it's bone on bone. She's had for many years, and can't she use the Cellerciser? We have a great many people that have had bone on bone problems, serious problems, swelling in the knees, that have used the Cellerciser. And as those muscles and ligaments have grown stronger, they've been able to support the joint better and enjoy a quality of life that they didn't know they'd be able to have again. So to answer the question, you're welcome to try it for 30 days, and it can take longer than that to build up the knee, but you should know whether, not very quickly, you're going to be able to do it or not. For many people, Cellercise has been the only thing that they've been able to do.
Can Cellercising help with subdeltoid bursitis?
Oh, yeah. I know what that's like. Yeah, there's specific movements. In fact, hold that thought. I want to do a routine with everybody. We'll work on that with the shoulder. So I'll incorporate that into our movement too. And yes, it's also going to be on the Mr. Rebounder app. That's one of the new movements which deals specifically with shoulders. Anything else?
Movements to help with frozen shoulder.
What?
Movements to help with the frozen shoulder.
Movements with the frozen shoulder? Yeah, I'll come. We'll do some movements on that. Hi, Dave. I guess I'm just looking for some encouragement. I'm so anxious to do more on the Cellerciser and get stronger. For now, it seems I can't get past about 10 to 15 minutes. That's pretty good. Of the baby or health bounce. That's fine. It seems that any time I add a simple rock or twist, for example, even tried a very low-key jamba run or walk more like, even for a short time, I ended up aggravating my hip, lower back, butt area, or knee. Then I have to take a break for 1 to 3 days and then go back to just doing my baby bounce. Okay, well, let's work on the hip tonight. We'll work on opening up the hip area and the back with some movements. With the Cellerciser, can you remind me, Brookie, so I don't forget? We want to do the shoulder and we want to do the lower back and the hip area. With the Cellerciser, is there any reason I might want to hang on to my full body vibration training platform fitness machine, if you're familiar with it? Do I get all the same benefits with my rebounder? Thanks. Okay. Not even in the same category. Those vibrating, they're meant to be disruptive. They are very disruptive. The Cellerciser is more homeopathic. It treats the body collectively as a whole. It's, I'm not saying that you can't use a vibrating machine. I'm just saying it's not even in the same category, so you can't compare the two. The Cellercise is weight-bearing collectively as a whole for the whole body to get stronger as a whole. The vibrating machine is extremely disruptive. I like to compare it to the difference between taking a baby and gently bouncing a baby up and down. They love it. If you take that same baby and shake them, they're not going to like it. I'm not sure the body likes that disruption either. But it does break things up, and I'm not saying it can't have its benefit, but you have shattered your homeostasis or your balance. And I was at the National Health Federation years ago, and I was challenged by one of my previous customers who was now on board with the vibration plate. And he said, oh, you can get all the same benefits on this that you do this. I said, really? Okay. So I had him, and you've seen me do that. I had him do the strength and balance test. I said, let's see how strong and balanced you are right now. Well, he'd been on the machine off and on quite a bit during the day. I could take one finger, put it on him, knock him over. He had no strength about it. He was so frustrated about it. I had him then get on the Cellerciser, where we create balance to the whole body and strength. I did the strength and balance test again. 9-day difference. He had a job with the vibration machine, but he also went back to his Cellercising. And that's, you can't. If you're going to do the vibration machine, I would highly recommend, when you're done, get on the Cellerciser. Restore homeostasis or balance in the body. All right. At one point, I think I watched a video about your testimony of healing from mold toxicity. I can't find the video. Could you share about your experience healing from mold with the Cellerciser? Thanks. Yeah, that's nasty stuff. I got that at my other house. And it's headaches, sickness, no energy, don't know what's wrong, but you know something's wrong. It just took time. I don't know why it went away completely. I took garlic pills. I did the breathing techniques for opening up bronchial tubes and lungs. I just fought back, and eventually it took time, but eventually it did fade away. I would recommend, if you have a condition like that, consult with a doctor or homeopathic doctor, because they can also help in those areas. And then, yes, Cellercise can be, when you get on that Cellercise, you run as fast as you can for 1 minute. you can increase the number of active white blood cells in your body by 10 to 15 times. And they can stay there for up to an hour. So like 1 minute of 1 hour of increasing your own body's immune system ability. And that's through research we know provided by Dr. Arthur C. Guyton in his book, Medical Physiology. Okay. I drove a bus for 30 years when you had to use a stick shift and open door manually, so pretty well messed up my left side. Supposedly tightened up every time I changed gears or opened the door so that the left side was all tight. I have hip, back, and shoulder problems, and am at the chiropractor or physio a few times a month. Can you tell me which exercises are best for something like this and how often to do them and duration for doing them? This will be greatly appreciated to have a bit of guidance. I also forgot to tell you how stiff I am all the time. Getting out of a vehicle, I need to stand for a minute to get myself moving properly. Yeah, that's why I created the portable Cellerciser, and we have truckers that now use it also. Okay, let's go through some movements and some routines. I want to take you through a little health program, and then when I'm done, I want to focus on some additional movements. So this is something that we've done quite a while ago. I'm going to, I don't know if I can see that, it's getting darker, quicker right now, but let's start off, get on the Cellerciser. We're going to, the whole purpose of this right now is to show you how easy it is, but also how effective it is. So before you get on the Cellerciser, you might want to put your feet apart, and if you can, just kind of bend over and see how far you can get as far as touching your toes or your hands to the ground. So as you bend over, touch your hands to the ground, and just see, or as close as you can, and see how flexible you are right now. And now we're going to Cellercise. Remember, it's on every tissue, every cell. You're massaging just by doing this. So we're going to do this. I'm going to set up a little stopwatch here real quick, because we can put these movements on. There we go. So we're going to gently move up and down. We're going to do this for 60 seconds. But as we're doing it, I'm going to have you do some gentle movements. So for shoulders, go ahead and take your elbows, stick them out in front of you. Put your hand on your shoulder. I want you to feel the muscles in there. Can you imagine having a massage therapist working every single muscle in your body right now? Over 100 times a minute, that's what's happening. You have your cells, your muscles, all of them expanding and contracting with that kind of dynamic from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your foot. And so as we lift our shoulders up over our head, comfortably, if you have to, you can support your shoulder. If you have a weak shoulder, just kind of stick it up over your head. And then we're going to move it out to the side. And we're going to do it for another minute. So just out in the front, up on the top, out to the side. And we're going to do it a couple more times. So front. And if you notice anything, if you notice any pulling or any resistance, just don't overdo it. You don't need to. Get to that point where you can feel the stretch or you feel the resistance. Stop. Let the movement up and down on a Cellerciser massage the tension away. You don't have to do it. When we're done with this, in just 15 more seconds, we're going to do 10 breaths. So, and if that's too much, do 5 or 6 of them, because it's an exercise for the lungs. So it goes like this. And that's a lot. And when you're done, just realize if it sounded wheezy, that's okay. You just worked out your bronchial tubes and lungs without doing a lot of long distance running or swimming or those other activities. You just literally exercised those bronchial tubes and those lungs. Okay, now we're going to work on the hip area a little bit. So let's just take our feet, spread them apart a little bit. You can hold on to the balance bar, bend at the knees slightly. And we're going to gently just rock left to right. Now as we're rocking left to right, take your hands, your fingers, and put them directly beneath your hip. I want you to feel the muscles working in that hip area. That's your support. Those muscles, as you're rocking side to side, you're helping to increase circulation to these areas of the that whole hip area. Okay, so we're doing this. Just enjoy it for a few moments. You're kind of pushing down with your heel as you're rocking left to right. And if, Ricky, if we need another question or something, go ahead and I can do that while we're doing these movements too. Okay, so now we're going to work the hip joint area more. So as we're rocking side to side, we're just going to keep our hips straight ahead and we're moving our feet and our knees left to right. As we're moving our feet left to right, we're all working this joint. People that have had sciatica issues, this has been one of the ones that have helped open up that whole hip area. So we're just going to enjoy this for a few moments. And if there's, if everybody's Cellercising like they should be, we probably won't have any more questions. All right. Now we're going to move the whole waist. So we're graduating from the hip. We're going to do the gentle twist this direction, just like this. And that is to help loosen the lower back. And these are just all health movements, just designed to help improve body functions and strength. So as we're gently rocking side to side, we're helping to put that colon and those intestines through a little washing machine every day. We're helping to loosen the lower back. We're helping to massage the liver, kidney, spleen, gallbladder, pancreas, adrenals. So all these movements, we're working the fascia. Often people, if they have a little scoliosis, or if they play golf, or baseball or tennis, they can favor one side of the muscles on one side of the body more than the other. This helps to balance them out again, because we're not favoring one side of the body over the other when we Cellercise like we do with many different types of activities. So you can work the upper back. Just do this gently. You don't have to force it. I want you to feel good when you're done. And so as we're gently rocking side to side, we're working the upper back. We're also working the shoulders. Okay, now I want to work the shoulder another way. Now we had a question with regards to bursitis and how we might be able to help that area of the shoulder. And of course, these movements here are great. They're really good. Want something that's going to address those tendons just a little bit more. And again, this movement will be on our new app. You just hook your arm underneath. Let's pull the shoulder over underneath our chin so we get a little stretch. And just gently bounce up and down. Want to see how comfortably you can pull your shoulder over. And if you can't do it very much, it's fine. Just get to the point where you notice some resistance and then stop. Gently move up and down. You can imagine what yoga and stretching does. You do different movements and then you get a little bit more and then you get a little bit more. And, well, Cellercise, that's pretty much automatic. When you get to a resistance point and then you massage that tissue, it becomes more flexible and you're able to pull a little bit more. And it's just kind of a graduated basis. So that's all good. All right, we just dropped that shoulder. We're going to do the other one. So hook underneath, pull that shoulder over, and you may notice some pulling in your back along the scapula area as well. Helping to stretch the back is as well as the deltoids. And that's a great movement. We want to open them up. And shoulder problems, again, knee problems, back problems, hip problems, they're generally a result of weaknesses or injury in those supporting muscles and ligaments. So we address the supporting muscles and ligaments, we strengthen them, we push flexibility up in them, and very often those shoulder issues will just gently go away. Okay, another routine that we have that will be in the new app is we take our hands, put them in front, we're going to go like this. So we're just gently bouncing, which is massaging those muscles at the same time that we're stretching them. Now we're increasing flexibility at the same time that we're doing this. Okay, now, for those who are able, if you're not comfortable doing this, I want you to just rock side to side. As rocking side to side, you want to keep those muscles and those cells working. And for those who are able, we're going to do the ski patrol. So that's where we put our feet together here, and we're just going to hop side to side. So we'll do that until we get to 10 minutes. And this ski patrol here, this is working our hips, our thighs, our knees, our ankles. And it's more intense than you realize. It really is. I mean, I see people knocking themselves out doing routines, and it's okay, you can do that. Cellercise is very forgiving. But when I began, I was just goofing around on it. After the first month, I dropped a belt notch, and my wife was asking me if I was lifting weights. I was just playing around on it. I didn't even take it seriously. I did after the first month. All right, another 15 seconds. Yeah.
Can you do the jumbo run?
That's next. We're going to do jumbo walk. That's next. Very good. Okay, so spread the feet apart, bend into the knee, keep your back straight. Now, I'm going to do the jumbo run, but for most of you, you may want to do the jumbo walk. It's simply keeping your feet on the mat, pushing down into the mat, left, right, just like this. The jumbo run is a little different. I'm going to wait to the 30-second mark and we'll see how we do this. Okay, and that's just done like this. Keep your back straight, your feet flat, and try to point your feet straight ahead. If you point your feet straight ahead, it'll help keep the knee over the front of the foot, and that can help with knee issues as well. Okay, that's 30 seconds. And this one will generate heat. When you're done, just do the baby bounce or the health bounce. Ten more seconds. Okay, that's the jumbo run. And you'll hear of any exercise, that one, I think, burns calories more than anything else. It increases metabolism too. So we're going to do the health or the baby bounce, and then we're going to do a jog. So jogging, just kind of lift those knees up. And we'll just jog. The neat thing about the jumbo run is you can put as much don't know. You can put a lot into it. If you want to increase the intensity, I don't know anything. That's going to increase intensity more than that movement. Okay, one of my favorite routines on the Mr. Rebounder app is in the advanced section, and it's called the second weight loss or weight loss 2, because it has intervals of the jump run and sprinting, and it's a great routine. You can burn a lot of calories, and when you're done with the routine, you can then continue to burn calories. On the monitor, you can actually see until you reach a certain level or a certain goal. Okay, we're doing the health bounce, and then we're going to do the sprint again, and then we're going to do the hip rock. So let's, for those who are able, I'm going to sprint pretty fast. If you want, just walk or gently run. Lift your knees as high as you are comfortable lifting them, but it's just... Okay, that's another good one. And if you're just walking, that's good. There's some days you're going to feel it more than other days. I'm feeling it more today. That's good. Okay.
How long did you do that for?
I only did it 50 seconds. Normally I do it for a minute. And the way I do it, I try to compete with myself. So when my right leg comes down, every time the right leg comes down, I count it as 1. So if I'm running a competition with myself, I'm going to see how many times the right leg can come down within a minute. So when I was doing my routine earlier today, this morning, I hit 131. So I ran 131 steps with the right foot, which for me is pretty good. Now there's some of you who are younger, more athletic. Let us know how you did, but keep your knees high. It's easy to run close to the ground. You want to work the core too. So you want to lift the knees high while you do it. Okay, now we're going to go back to the hip rock. And I hope you're feeling it. I hope you're feeling good, and your hips, everything should be becoming more flexible. Okay, so we're going to do one more of the shoulders, and that's going to be we'll do it this way again. we're going to do the whippy ski patrol, which is if you can hold on with one hand. As you stretch, as your leg or foot crosses in front of the other foot, and you lift that shoulder up, it starts to loosen up the muscles in the back. And it's pumping fluid between the vertebral joints to the disc. So this movement, if you notice a little more tightness on one side of the body than the other, well, that's the area that we concentrate a little bit more on. We're going to end up with a health bounce, or after this we'll do the twist, and then we'll do the health bounce. All right, so we just gently do the twist. And if you had tightness in the hip area, you should be noticing a difference now. That one that we were doing just a moment ago, the whippy ski patrol, the psoas muscle, which is hard to get to, that one can also help loosen up that muscle in that area too. Okay, and then we're just gonna put our hands straight down, gently move up and down. I want you to be sensitive to the pressure in the tips of your finger. When you feel the pressure or the throbbing at the tips of your finger, I want you to then relax your shoulders. Don't fall off. Hold on if you need to. But just relax everything. And just gently move up and down. Like I said, don't fall off, but just gently relax. This prepares us for a nice, relaxing evening without a lot of stress or tension in the body. And this is a great movement to do just before you go to bed too. You don't have to toss and turn to get rid of stress or tension. And now, if you take your hands again and reach down and see if it's any easier to go down or how much further you're able to go down. Thank you. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to share, please feel free to do so. Bricky, did you have a question?
If I have slight osteoporosis, will this help to strengthen my bones?
Yeah, it's weight bearing. That's how we build up stronger bones. We need a weight bearing activity on the skeletal system. Now, most people think of, I don't know why they do lifting weights or aerobic impact sports, but the Cellerciser, if you go to our website, you can read some pretty amazing customer reviews of people who improve their T-scores, and they attribute it to Cellercise. So Cellercise, again, it's weight bearing, but without the jar. As we apply weight to the bones and to the muscles over and over, as well as the fascia and the skin and the collagen and everything else, the body starts to adapt by becoming stronger. But the difference is that it's also becoming more flexible at the same time it's becoming stronger. And that it goes kind of against the grain of what we've been taught with typical exercise. And nothing wrong with it, but with typical exercise, you manipulate the body. You tear it down to build it up. And that builds scar tissue within those muscle fibers. And the body patches the tears with more protein, and then we tear the tear and it patches the patch, and so on and so forth. Again, it's a manipulation of the body. We're the only species in the world that does that. It's more of a sport than anything else. But when you're done and you get on a Cellerciser, or when you do it on a Cellerciser, you're still strengthening the cell membrane because it's still weight bearing and the cell doesn't want to rupture. So you challenge the cell fortifies its membrane with more protein, but you're not tearing it down to build it up. That means you can Cellercise every day, several times a day, if you choose, without the detriment of many of the typical exercises that are out there. So again, thank you. Call me if you have any questions. Remember, You don't have to work out when you can play in. We want to make it fun, convenient, easy, safe. We make it portable. And watch for our monitor. You can pre-order it by calling the office if you're interested in the Bluetooth monitor. Take a look at our app. In about a week, we should have additional movements that you can add to your program. And let us know if we can answer any questions. Thank you again for sharing. Thanks for being a part of the family. Thank you for making a difference. We'll see you in a couple weeks.